All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. In downtown Atlanta. Tonight we kick off the preseason with a good matchup right away between the Houston Texans and the Atlanta Falcons. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson going for the deep ball. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Holding, offense.
Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Here's Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Going deep for Hopkins. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
It's taken in at the 9. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Falcons will get it first and 10 from deep in their own territory. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
And they'll go on the ground. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll drop to throw. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. He was a 3rd-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the first round, late in the first round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd, so a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Saunders. And down inside the 15 he goes. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Black 22! Black 22!
From the gun, here's Watson. It's brought in by Dodson. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3 and out. They go play action here on first down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Faking the give. Now Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. On the right side here, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following the sparkling display of footwork. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They're going to look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit. Thanking him for that much space to rumble.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Back to throw. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. In for the score. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did?
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. And they got the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Dewan Smoot in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a handoff looking right. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. They'll roll him out right, and this is incomplete. The Falcons on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll power his way up near the 25. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here we go now. Blue line it. Blue line it.
He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete as well.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Yeah, they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Yeah, and relax and enjoy the 2nd quarter lead right now. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Falcons on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Let's go! 3-19!
They'll run with Clement. And now running right through it. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now back to throw. Going up top. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And they'll run it here. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So we have reached halftime. Boy, rough crowd. No football for 6 months already. We're skipping halftime. All right, let's get right back to the action. We're set for quarter 3. Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll run for it here with Smith. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Green 39.
On the carry, here's Clement. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They got to make some moves.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Francis. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, struggles continue. Open target. And he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They'll look to throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. On 3rd down, that's Carroll. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Man open, that's Damian Ratley. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a first down.
Well, there's what we call an even front or an odd front. And an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Falcons on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Four down. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll set up to throw. Going with a screen for Murray. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now let's go. Green 30.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Deron Smoot in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far.
All right, here we
It feels
go.
like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Green 39. Hot.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And they take possession of the football and have at the 36-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
The Falcons on third down. Well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 10. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Looking to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done as you noted, and they did.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 2nd down, here's Smith. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They're going to look to throw. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. And they'll go with the ground attack here. A little three. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there. 14 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Here's Bailey now for the extra point.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. And here comes the Texans now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Quick slant there, gets him the first down, 6 yards on the play.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
He'll look to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll set up a throw, and that's incomplete. The Texans on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue line.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And they'll go on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Carroll. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call. And they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll run with Smith. And he's got room. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
This is where you need to rely on your offensive line, and you tell the person carrying the football, no dilly-dallying around, no trying to hit the home run. Just hit the hole hard and get in there for a 1st down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Back to throw here. He's going to air one out. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Gone after the sack. He's still down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And here comes throw number one for the backup QB. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Set. 319. 319.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Burst by him near the 35. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. They'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down.
Here we go. Now let's go.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and that will write a finish to this ball game. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
you